Jack O'Malley is a smooth one to go unnoticed while dropping coffee at an electrical outlet, causing a fire, stealing an ID card amidst the chaos, walking into a highly secure building, planting something in a machine, and walking out nonchalantly. On the other hand, Cal is guarding Santa Claus in a mall, noticing suspicious activities and ensuring he doesn't need anything from anyone, as he is a high-security person. Pretty weird, since why would a mall Santa get so much protocol? However, this is a world where Santa Claus is real, and people may not know, but it wasn't a dress-up play they saw at the mall, but the actual Santa Claus. This Santa, aka Red One, aka Nick, actually has huge reindeer and magical qualities to take him to his sweet home. A hidden place is full of magical creatures working hard the entire year to align everything to be delivered to everyone on Christmas Eve. Jack gets a signal about the person he is tracking and reports it to his anonymous client. As the preps are in full swing, Cal comes to Nick, handing in his resignation. Nick asks the reason, since he knows Cal loves the kids and this job. Cal tells him it's the adults that are killing him. Their selfish and mean behavior is something that is becoming unbearable for him to watch. Nick believes in still working for the good, in giving the right direction to people and then leaving the rest to them to choose. Nick tells Cal that he sees everyone as their kid version still living inside of them. Cal could see that too, but now he is having a hard time. Nick doesn't push him. Instead, the two decide to have this one last ride together. A lady and some people with her are analyzing the North Pole to look for something when they come across a barrier, which means they are the ones tracking Santa. Cal is standing on a terrace looking at their little world when he notices something weird in the sky. As it gets more prominent, and one of the personnel stops responding. Cal alarms everyone, questioning who Red is with, but they can't find him. Cal rushes to Nick's room and finds that someone intruded through the window and kidnapped him. Cal goes out and sees an automobile, making him chase it. The team opens all the traps to catch the car, but they seem to have come well prepared. Cal is the only one rushing to catch up with the car, even outside of the dome they are in. However, even after his efforts of trapping the vehicle become successful, he still fails because the vehicle is empty, and Santa has already been taken away on an aircraft. The director calls the team, making Cal come and make the judgments about the humans who kidnapped Red and how they did it. The director tells them that someone hacked the intercontinental seismic system. Using the help of the trolls, they get to know it was done by the Wolf. He is known as someone who can look for anything, anywhere, and even the FBI tried approaching him for his skills, but he is a freelancer. The legendary guy being talked about is certainly sleeping in his bathtub after drinking the night away, and the only reason he wakes up is because his ex-wife called him to have him pick their son Dylan up, as her schedule is way caught up to do so herself. Jack picks Dylan, and Dylan uses this opportunity to brief him about the entire beef with his ex-bestie who bagged the girl he knew Dylan liked, so eventually Dylan slashed his bike's tires. Jack's message out of this is to ensure he doesn't leave evidence when he does something like this. Walking home, Jack notices people following him, and he even notices shadows of feet inside his apartment from underneath the floor. However, the people outside trap him. Only if a team against one and a taser with supernatural power meant they could catch Jack. Dodging through all, he ends up outside the building by jumping through windows. However, the moment he uses a back door, Zoe is waiting there to tase him unconscious. Waking him up, everyone talks to him as if he knows what he did, but he doesn't. Because all his works are against ethics, eventually they question him about the hacking and the surveillance, making him accept that, but tell them he only did that as business and has no idea who the anonymous client is. Jack is boxed up and taken to the headquarters, where he sees many other mythical creatures who people think aren't real. Jack doesn't know why anyone would be interested in kidnapping Santa, that is, if he exists. Cal comes in, making Jack threatened by a talking polar bear, so he spits information out. The bear knows him as a level 4 naughty lister. The threats and intimidation work as Jack confesses to keeping track of his not-so-anonymous clients for his payments. Nick wakes up trapped in a machine. A young woman standing in front of him tells him the world will finally get what it needs, and what they need is fear of something to keep them good. He wants the naughty listers to be punished, unlike Santa's strategy of not doing that. She absorbs some of his energy using the sphere machine, making Nick lose consciousness again. Cal takes Jack to a toy store, making him pick some vehicles and other toys. They then use the supply closet as portals to travel through different regions, something that Jack wasn't aware of. Another thing he wasn't aware of was Cal's ability to turn a toy car into an original vehicle with his wrist device. As they travel, Jack hears about how they work and rehearse the entire year to ensure Santa himself personally delivers presents everywhere around the globe on the same night. Jack thinks they can divide the work, but Santa likes to take his responsibilities seriously. Meanwhile, the kidnapper lady gets her first weapon prototype, which is a little globe. She feeds Nick's power into the globe to create something as a punishment for the naughty ones. They decide to test it on the first person on the naughty list. Walking to a beach, Jack and Cal look around for the client who gave Jack the order. Jack, being a smart person, easily figures out who the guy was, but that the guy has 3 gang members as his guards. Cal steps forward telling Jack they'll be fine. As they begin to fight, it gets weird how Cal keeps minimizing his size and then passing through their legs, maximizing again, and hitting them, a rather weird fight than cool. The person comes to them, and when he gets to know that Jack is the wolf, he tells them they need to leave as the woman he worked for is very dangerous. So much that he can't even say her name. They tell him to write the name in the sand, but Jack ends up pronouncing the name Gryla, resulting in the atmosphere changing as if she's Voldemort. Well, it does look like it since she gets alarmed and takes over the man's body to warn Cal to stay out of her business to punish the ones who deserve to be punished. Gryla, the Christmas witch, signs off by sending them a very cute ice cream van from under the water. Snow golems come out of the van, making everyone run away. Cal tells Jack to take the guy, as he is their only source to reach Gryla. However, Cal is busy dealing with one of them while 2 others follow the other guys. Cal splits the monster in 2, but it comes back intact. Jack burns it, but it comes out alive, and the man ends up getting frozen by the 3rd one. While being strangled, Cal accidentally hits away the carrot on the monster, realizing that's what kills them. Jack blows one with the kitchen, but the 3rd one almost gets him till Cal comes to save the day. Gryla tests on the first naughty list guy and sends him the globe. The guy vanishes, but the globe doesn't return to Gryla like it should. On the other hand, Cal and others analyze the scene and wonder where to trace her. They then look for unauthorized traces of magic and find ones where Santa's adopted brother lives. However, they have an unsaid pact of peace, maintaining as long as the people of the 2 brothers don't cross paths. Cal insists that he goes and inquires so they can save Christmas. As he and Jack travel through toy stores again, Jack gets a call from his ex-wife about him not going to the concert with Dylan and not being there enough for him either. Jack gets annoyed because he is stuck on a work-related issue here, but his running away from his dad's responsibilities isn't a first time either. Cal hears this but doesn't say anything. While traveling in another toy maximized into car, Jack and Cal talk about Dylan making Jack share how Dylan has a better stepdad, and he doesn't want to get involved and disappoint him, but Cal points out that maybe it's happening because of that reason. Before going in, Cal shares how the brothers used to work together until Grampus also started believing that naughty listers needed to be punished, but Santa took away that list from him. This is one of the reasons why Grampus got close to Gryla, because they shared the same principle. Going inside, Cal distracts the Hellhounds, but Jack Hounds ends up stealing a gold coin and makes them get caught right away. In the cell, Jack explains how he is in debt, and that just made him do that, but Cal tells him that however they deal with problems is their choice, and he could have found other ways to survive through life than what he did. The guards then take them to Grampus, who is having a slap battle. Cal and Grampus get into a talk about how Gryla took that globe from him. Santa is not there. No matter what Cal says, he wouldn't agree with Santa, and eventually how he isn't allowed to leave while Jack can. Jack takes a moment before mentioning a slap battle between Cal and Grampus. Whoever wins takes their deal. Cal wants another way but doesn't have many options. His slap doesn't even more Grampus, while Grampus's makes him fall. With an imbalance in the body due to impact, Cal prepares for the next slap, by which Jack manages to steal his wrist weapon and put it back on Cal. Cal then uses the toy figures to turn them into guards for their protection and runs away with Jack. Cal thanks Jack and makes a deal with him to save Christmas. While traveling back, they see a piano with a globe in it. Knowing what it is, Jack knows the gist of it, so he doesn't even open it. Cal does. Right along, Dylan calls Jack, telling him not to send lame presents as an excuse for not being there. The 2 keep telling Dylan not to touch the globe, but he does and disappears right in front of them. Taking the globe from Cal, Jack disappears too in hopes of meeting Dylan and Cal saving them. Jack and Dylan find themselves in the globes sent to them, and in the vicinity of Gryla. Seeing her mission successful, she gives orders to her shapeshifter sons to produce more for Christmas. While explaining this to director Zoe, Cal and Zoe realize that Gryla hasn't been far from them. She has taken over the North Pole, and the people they've been talking to have been the shapeshifters. Jack explains the entire scenario to Dylan and tells him it isn't his fault, but Jack's that he landed there. Jack then apologizes for his disappointing role as a father and promises to be there for him from now on. All it takes is this niceness for the globe to break. Cal reaches them by this point and gets to know Gryla is planning on leaving for the ride herself with the globes and Nick. While going to stop, they find the other members of the land and proceed to confront her together. Gryla simply announces she is leaving as a cue for the shapeshifters to attack them. As a huge fight breaks out, Cal and Jack rush towards the sleigh and climb on it. However, they are not a match against a witch. One is thrown forward while the other is backward. The two manage to cling, and Jack uses this to disconnect the sleigh from the reindeer, making Gryla fall with the sleigh, rests on the ramp. Cal tries to wake Nick up, but Gryla comes back, and in her original form this time. The two are no match for her, and it's interesting that Gryla's ex, aka Santa's stepbrother, comes there to finally help. However, Gryla hits him and knocks him out brutally. Cal steps forward to stand between Gryla and Nick. Gryla is choking Cal when Nick finally wakes up. With one yell, he calls the reindeer to attack Gryla till she gets trapped in her own created globe. Grampus and Nick finally have somewhat of a reconciliation. With Christmas saved, everything continues in full swing, making Jack and Dylan see how athletic Santa is to manage to deliver presents in one night. Pretty impressive transitions as well. As the sun rises, Cal sees Dylan and Jack talking on the sleigh, when suddenly he can see an image of Kid Jack talking to Dylan. He is over the moon that he can finally see the kids and every human again, and requests to continue his job with Nick, which he gladly agrees to.